Fine. So there is today's session. We are going to start from the very basic of visualization to understand you are already there in the you are already working on that mind Tableau. So what we will do, like we will from the very basic from getting data till the advanced level we will see here. So today's session we are going to see these various options like okay, we already see will see the fundamentals, the UI, right? Then data, how is the environment settings or language settings, right? For the local settings, then we have all of these different charts we'll see in today's session. Right? Yeah. So before we go ahead with the tool, right, we need to know what we are going to perform using this Tableau tool. We are going to do some kind of analytics, right? We all know that this is an analytics tool, and we want to perform the analytics. So we do you know how many types of analytics we can perform with the data? Do you have any idea of the analytics?
Uh, no, no, sir, no.
No. No? Okay. So analytics is what we do, right? We analyze our data, right? Whatever data is there, we want to analyze it, right? And to get insight or to fix some problem or to, grow our business, right? We want to analyze our data, right? Uh, so in that case, we to if we have some data in a data warehouse, right? That means we can explore that data. We can explore that data. We can just understand the data. That is, we can do some exploratory analysis, or we are just doing some descriptive analysis. Okay, means we are just describing our data. Okay, we have this many counts, this many orders, this much amount we have received. So this is just the descriptive analytics of our data. Or say we have a banking project, we have banking data. In that we will okay describe okay this many accounts we have, this many account holders we have, this much of loan amount we have provided, and yearly we are getting this amount. This is the return. This many people are insolvent, right? So we can get all of this information and describe our data. Fine. So that is descriptive analytics. So this is the very first basic things, descriptive analytics. Then we have in our business, we have some issues, right? What kind of issues? Maybe in we have retail business and we have stores in many cities, right? We are seeing that some of the retails from some of the cities or some of the places, right? They are always showing us the uh, losses. We are not getting any profit from the losses. That means there's some issue with the business, right? In that, so we want to analyze that data for that particular stores, like over the years, when it went well and when it is going, down or giving us losses. So we want to analyze that data, right? We want to diagnose that issues. What is the issue actually? What is the cause of issue? We want to understand that part. That is called diagnostic analytics. Okay, we are diagnosing our data. Fine. So that is diagnostic analysis. Then we have, right, we are diagnostic analysis. We want to suppose we have the data, available data, then we want to do some forecasting for the next years, okay? Next few months, next years, something like that. So in that case, we need to, based on the trend, based on the uh, previous transactions, right? We have to find out a method or a formula which will give us the next, which will give us the analysis of the data for next or prediction of the data for next year or next few months. Right? That is called predictive analytics. That means we are based on the existing transactions, we are doing prediction on our data. Right? So that is predictive analytics. That we have now seen that we have descriptive analytics, we have this diagnostic analytics, we have predictive analytics. Then uh, you can also what can be done also, right? It can be also this the issues whatever we have, right? That can be find out and fixed. We can also suggest the resolution. If you are just finding the issues, if you are just finding the trends, if you are just finding some future transactions, right? So that is just finding it something. We also need to give the resolution, that how we can fix or how we can achieve that target, right? Or we can also, give that, right? So in that case, we are saying that kind of analytics as prescriptive analytics, that we get the analytics, we get the analysis. Okay, what is what? We diagnose everything, we did everything. Now, how we can improve our business, how we can get more sales, how we can achieve our target. We are also giving, we are also providing that answer, right? That is called prescriptive analytics, right? Then we have some kind of analytics where machine will automatically find out the trends. Machine will automatically find out based on the data. It will find out what is happening in your business, right? And it will suggest you the solutions and all, right? That is the next level of analytics. Okay, that is called in to have reasons that analytics is the topmost level analytics. Yes, I just need to get that analytics name and just forgetting. So that is we are not going to do all of those. We are here. What we are just going to do is we are either diagnosing our data, right? We are either diagnosing our data or we will be doing some kind of predictive analytics, right? But not the level of analytics where everything get fixed automatically, right? We are not going to do that kind of analytics here with this tool. So yeah, those will be available. Those kind of analytics will be available using what? Using the machine learning activities, machine learning tools, so data science, programs, right? So building a model. So it will suggest you that it will check your data. It will find the issues. It will do the automatically. It will make the adjustment automatically or give you a solution automatically. Right? So yeah. Fine. We have this kind of analytics. Now, let's see what with the analytics, right? How we are going to do the analytics activity, right? What we are doing with this tool, we have data in the form of tables in our warehouse, right? So with that data, we have huge amount of data, petabytes, gigabytes, right? GBs, PBs, right? Petabytes and all, terabytes. So much of amount of data we have in different data warehouses. So we want to analyze that data. Just by seeing that data is not possible, right? It's not possible to visualize that data. So let's take a simple example of this data. Because there is a data, we have there's a data set I have here. Let's say that we have some data set here that we are working in a project, right? And that project is giving you the solution. That project is, working on the uh, production issues. Okay, they are getting tickets. They are resolving the issues. Fine. They have now some resources. So we are seeing that this is the data they are getting. Right. So just by seeing this small amount of data, right? Just by seeing this small amount of data, what do you get? Do you get any analytics from this small amount of data? Just few lines, right? Just 13 rows. Okay. And we are not able to make up anything. We are not able to see anything. That these many tickets we are receiving in our project and these many tickets we are processing in our project every day, maybe. So this is every day, daily, right? Or monthly tickets, right? So every month we are processing this. So these many tickets we are receiving every month, and these many tickets we are giving resolution every month, right? So but we are not able to get we are not able to get any insight from this data. This is tabular format, and this is very small data, right? Let's see the same data we want to check in our visualization. So before we go to the actual from the definition from the beginning, we are just going to have this discussed. What I have done, uh, I am using the trial version of 2023.1, right? You can also download it and you can use the trial version, right? Uh, or you can also use the online, Tableau online, right? You can use that also. So with the trial version, you will have all the full-fledged features. Okay, you have the full-fledged feature, and because this is costly tool, right? You cannot even afford that, right? It's better we use the trial versions with the different ideas, right? So now, what do we have here? We want to analyze the data, that tickets data, and we have this table data. So let's get that data first. So let's get the data first. Tickets only. Okay, we have this data. Now we want to use that data. Okay, we are not seeing anything now. We just want to analyze. Right? So for that, what we want to do, we want to just have this month on the columns. Okay, and the ticket received on the rows and ticket received on the. So we have only 1 year data. Okay, we want to have the monthly data. So we don't want to have the quarter information. We just have the monthly data. We are okay. This is actually fine. This date, we are going to remove it and make it, this date we are going to make it continuous. Days we are going to make it continuous. Now it is just discrete and it need to continue. So we are giving a line check, right? Fine. Now, what we want to do also, we want to see the process ticket volume processed. So ticket volume received and ticket volume processed, right? So this is the small insight, small data, and we just want to see the insight. Fine. And let's see what is the insight from this data. Okay, fine. What we have just now is we want to use the dual axis in this. Fine. We want to also do the setting, the synchronized axis. Okay. The same small data we had in this table, and the same data we are seeing in the visualization. Correct? So you can see a lot of differences in our tabular data, checking the tabular data and checking the visualization. Here we can find out that ticket volume received, right? Ticket volumes processed is and ticket volume received and ticket volume processed are almost every month till May month. We have done it correctly. We are able to perform the we can resolve the tickets. Yeah, whatever tickets are coming, we are able to resolve all the tickets till May. Okay, till the month of May, we are able to resolve all the tickets. But after that, after the month of May, there has something has happened that now the ticket processed are less and ticket received are more. Volume of tickets we are receiving here is still compared to the earlier month, it is still less, but still we are not able to process those tickets even, right? So that means there has something happened. So there are some issue, right? So this kind of to get this kind of insight, we are using this visualization tool, which we cannot use by just seeing the data, raw data. These kind of information we will not be able to directly visualize. We will not be able to make out any decision. Right? So this tool will give us that capability. Fine. So now let's come back to our basic. Right? What is this tool do? We will get the visualizations of a graphical or visual representations of data using Power BI tool, right? And what is data visualization? Right? Whatever data we have in the raw form, we have in the tabular form, the same data we want to see in the graphical or visual form, right? That is the graphical representation of our data, right? Which is shown in charts, which is shown in tables or in colors, right? In different form, right? So that is we are going to the visualization is the data representation of the raw data into graphical or visual representations. Right? Why do we check? Why do we do the visualization? Why it is required to have this raw data in graphical form or visual representation to identify patterns which we will not be able to identify if we have millions and billions of records, right, in tabular form. We will not be able to identify any such you know uh, patterns, right, with the raw data without using a tool which is giving us summarized information, which is giving us visual representation of the data and all these things, right? So now here with the visualization, why do we do the visualization? We to check the patterns, trends, and outliers informations. All of these things we'll be able to check using the visualization tool. And why do we do that? Why do we identify patterns and all these things? To make some decision, right? So this decision will be based on the data, not on not on the basis of the assumptions or just uh, having some based on the discussions, right? This decision will be made based on the patterns or based on the data trends and whatever data is available. Based on that, we are making some decisions. So this tool will give us the capability to visualize our data, to visualize our information in the graphical representation so that we can make a decision, data-driven decision. Right? So that's what this Tableau or any visualization tool, Power BI or any other tool will do, right? Even we have the Python, right? We will get this visualization done from all of these tools. Now, the analytics or visualization is not only the option, is not only analytics here, right? Data visualization is not only just to represent your data without purpose, right? If you are just representing your data to look nice or to show it, visual, appealing visuals, right? It's not visualization. Visualization is such that you have you are answering something based on your data, representing data into your visuals, into the different charts, right? So in that case, you are trying to answer some question, find out some meaning from your data, so that you can grow your business or you can answer some of your business problems, your business questions, right? So data visualization is the use of visual representation to explore your data, make sense of your data, right? Make some sense of your data and communicate the same data to your stakeholders. The same, whatever you are finding out, you have to also communicate to your stakeholders that okay, this is the data you have, and with that we could find out this kind of patterns, and these patterns means You have to take these actions to grow your business, or you have to take this option to tackle this problem, right? So this kind of communication activities and uh, you will be able to do. So you need to, for every visualization, you need to associate a goal. So whatever chart you are going to prepare or whatever visuals you are going to create, you must first have the question ready that what we are going to do with this chart or what we are going to analyze, right? Based on that, based on that question, we have to select a chart of, we have to select some visuals, right? Okay, how we can answer this question. Then you are selecting the visuals, then you are creating this visual, right? So creating visuals and creating visuals, getting appealing visuals are easy thing. The hard part is the asking a right question and getting your data identified. This is the hard part here, right? For any visualization project, for any business intelligence project, you should have a right question to answer it properly, to get your visualization correct, to get your analysis correct. Right? Question should be proper. Now, we are going to answer the business questions using the visualizations, data visualizations. So we are choosing a tool. Here, this tool is Tableau tool, right? And this Tableau tool will give us the capability to visualize our data. But the foremost and most important thing is to get your question correct, to get the problem statement. This is the first and foremost thing you have to understand. Right? So yeah, that's what we are going to learn how we can create a visualization. Right here, we'll be seeing some of the all of the activities we'll be performing to get a visualization done, to get a dashboard created. So we'll see all of that. Now, to get a visualization created, right? What are the capabilities we have in Tableau? We'll learn that. What is Tableau and how it will help us getting the visualization, getting a problem statement answered, right? So we'll just understand that thing. Yeah. Fine. So yeah, Tableau, we are going to use raw data to visualize it. So ultimate aim for us is to visualize and analyze our data. This is the ultimate aim, right? For that, Tableau is providing a tool called Tableau Desktop. Okay. So where we can create our solution, we can create our analysis, or we can create our visualizations, right? We will be looking for this. And for this, we need to, and why this is done, why we are going to create the analysis and or we are going to create some visualization to answer the business questions. So that means we have some data and that will be data driven question. So we need to have data, right, for that. So we have to connect to the sources. That data also need to be modified, okay, updated, or we need to transform the data to apply the business logic. So what can be the business logic? The logic can be so many ways, so many things, right? Suppose take the example of taxes, right? So last year we had different method of taxation, right? Government has this year has announced a different taxation, right? So every business will apply that rule, right? Every business will apply that rule to apply the tax calculation, to do the tax calculation, right? So that logic you have to apply, we have to build in the model, you have to create it, right? So that's what we are going to also create the business logic. So business logic is what we are going to create the calculations and do all those activities, right? So here to visualize and analyze something, we need to get data and that data should answer something so that we for that we will have business logics, right? So that business logics need to be also applied and ultimately after analysis, visualizations and all these things, ultimately we are, creating the dashboard, right? This analysis and visualize options, right, will be, ultimately will be creating to put it in the dashboard or stories. And this is the ultimate thing we are having. So in Tableau, we are going to create the dashboard at the end, right? Right? And on top of that, we are will be creating the visualization and business logic and do the calculation. Now we have the Tableau desktop. Once we create our solution, once we have the solution created, right, that solution we need to also share with the stakeholder. That means this solution will be analyzed by whom? Will be our analyzed by the business, right? They will check the analysis, they will check all of these visuals, they will find out some trends, they will, okay, then make some decision. So for that, we need to share with them. And to share it, right, with the business and all, we need to move the solution, publish the solution to the cloud services, Tableau server, right? There we can apply the security, we can share this with other people, right? Creating the workspaces, right? We are not going to cover in this course, we are not going to cover the Tableau server, right? We are just going to have the how we can create, dashboard build, this story is created. Till that point, we will just, you know, have here our in our this Tableau training, right? Yeah. So till now, do you have any question?
No.
No?
Sir, uh, actually, I don't have the Tableau software. So how can I use it on into the online web? Please share me the links that I can work on that.
So you don't have Tableau?
No, I have to download it, and
Ah,
it's a company laptop, right? So I think so I won't be able to until unless that's a paid version. So meanwhile,
okay. If it is
I
Tableau,
would just
if
want
it is
to get
company,
yeah.
if it is company laptop, you will not be even able to use the, Tableau online also because it is not recommended. Okay. Because you need to use some data. Okay. And Tableau
Okay,
online is public. Okay. And Tableau
okay,
online is totally open to the world. You should not use the Tableau online, public, Tableau public. That. Okay.
okay,
So yeah, it is not recommended at all, and you should not even use that. Fine.
okay,
Okay. I would suggest you to get these Tableau either desktop downloaded, Tableau public also you can Tableau public also you can download, which is free version. So you can see here that we have Tableau this full-fledged features with the Tableau trial version, right? And we have the also the Tableau you can see here we have also the Tableau public version. Okay, Tableau public version also I had. So I have downloaded this for to show the live connections and all those things. We can also perform everything in the Tableau public. Okay, but only thing is there you have some limitations in terms of connectivities, right? Here we will be able to connect to different sources, all the different so full-fledged activity we will be able to do the full-fledged analysis. We will be able to connect to all the data, right? Different data sources we have here, right? All the different data sources we will be able to connect and these many data sources. But with the Tableau public, you will not be able to connect to all of these data sources. You will be able to connect to some of the files, and we'll be able to connect only some of the data sources. But using files or using any other data sources are same if you are using the Tableau, if you are using the import mode. Okay, import mode means in memory. You are saving your data in your compressed form into in memory, and then you are using it, and it is same, right? Whether you use any data from the databases or cloud, things, or from wherever you want to. If you are getting the data from the databases and all, into import mode, then it will work the same way as the text files or Excel files or any other files. Right? It will work in the same way. So you should not bother about that. Only thing is you will have the different connectivity of the data. So Tableau is used for that purpose, that we use the in-memory capability of Tableau. Fine. Okay. So I will suggest you to not use your Tableau public or online. Okay. Fine. Now, we are going to use, right? We are going to get the first data and we are going to see the interface, and we will be creating our worksheets, dashboards, stories, right? Different visualizations and calculations and business logics will be doing as part of this training, right? This entire training. Let's see. Okay. Great. Now, what we want to do is we are going to use our Tableau public, okay, Tableau week. So I already have one public, one Tableau. Okay. I just want to use this form. Okay, this is Tableau, and in this course we have this session one, and I have this page. Okay, so what I have saved this so that we can have all the questions, whatever we are going to cover, right? Everything we have here. So yeah, in this case, right, what do we have is we are going to get some data first, fine, and then we are going to learn how we can apply the different, we can perform the different activities like filters, transformations or data, formatting and other different visuals, right? Joins and all these things, how we can perform. We are going to see all of this in terms of for this course, and in today's session maybe we'll cover many of these, right, in this next 1 hour session. Right? So let's see what do we have. This is the UI, Tableau desktop UI, right? And what do we have in this UI? We have this work area where we will be creating our visualizations. Fine. These all are called shelves. This is column shelf, row shelf, page filters, and marks. These are all shelf, right? Different shelf. Fine. So we will be uh, to visualize our data and all these things. We have to put our data in column on rows or text these formulas or showing these marks, right? We have different marks online, these charts and all these things. So there are different marks we have. Fine. We will see all of these capabilities, all of these options one by one. Every of these options we will see one by one. We all of our data, whatever we will be pulling in, we will get the data from our data sources. All of this data will be shown here. Fine, in the data source. So we'll be having the data source. Once connected to data source, everything will be shown here. So, and we have to save our data, right? Uh, we can save it, right, using two information. We have Tableau workbook and Tableau packaged work, right? We have two options to save our file, whatever file we'll have. So Tableau workbook is just a template of your report. It will give the template, the visualizations and all those things, and without data. Okay. And Tableau packaged workbook will have all the data you will be using in your visualization. If you save in this .twbx form, so everything will be saved, either this data or all the different, you'll have bookmarks, you'll have some actions. So everything will be saved, right, with this option, TWBX. Everything will be done, right? And TWB is just a template of your visualization. It will save. So we'll be using mostly TWBX. You will be able to share this data. You will be able to share the visualization one through this TWBX, so that they whomsoever you are sharing it through mail, they have the data and everything. They will be, once they are opening that using Tableau reader or something like that, right? They will be able to open the report. They will be able to see the data and visualizations, everything they will be able to see. So you have to save it in this form, right? Yeah. Then
Sir, I have a question.
this.
So the first one, which is TBX only, it is to be like for desktop for individual purpose only. In case you want to share it with the public or the other person, it
Hmm.
should be in the workbook format.
Hmm. No, it's not like that. So even if you want to share it, right? You want to have it in, you want to have this placed in your, uh, services, right? Online, you have to, you are going to share it in TWBX format, so that your data and every source connection, everything is available in the there, and you have the data also available there. The Power BI service, Tableau services, right? Tableau online, right? You can move
Okay.
all of your image data, all of the other data, everything there. So all the links and connections and data also will be saved in your online platform, and that is saved in the in memory. So Tableau repository we have, right? So you in the repository location, everything will be saved. So you have bookmarks, you have connectors, you have data sources, you have all of these things, right? So everything will get saved using this, this one, right? So only the
Okay.
workbooks you have. So you have only the workbooks, and all of the other things like data and everything, all right. That will be saved while you move this TWBX, right?
Got it. Got
And
it.
once you have the updated, you have the updates, you have the connections, right? You want to update it, so you have the data in your local machine or somewhere else, right? You have the connection gateways and all these things. So through that, it will get updated automatically, right? Yeah. So now we will be just first we'll just see how we can do this, how we can use this tool to create the visualizations, to create all of these charts and all this thing. And later we'll see all of this. Also the data, we can connect to the data sources, we can refresh the data, extract and all these things, and we have everything here. Now we have the worksheet, or this entire worksheet. These are called worksheets. All of these are called worksheet, right? So we have the options to do the settings, right? Here we have the worksheet setting. So you can show the caption, you can show the summary, you can show the cards. So all of these different things you will be able to show it. You can perform some action, right? Tooltip. So all these options you will be able to see through worksheet. Then if you create a dashboard, this is the dashboard here, right? With the four, this one, right? For borders, for sales, you have this dashboard. So you will be able to create, you will be able to format your dashboard using this, right? You will be able to do the updates. You will be copy the images and do all of these activities. Device layouts you will perform, right? Desktop or tablet. So yeah, these are the options you have. Stories, you have the stories also. So on the storage, you can do the settings, right? Then analysis of data, right? Marks is aggregates and forecasting and all of these things. Once we have our data on the work area, so you will be able to see all of these options. And we will be maps, how we can get the different maps from servers, what are the different settings of the maps, right? Formatting of your workbook, formatting of your dashboard, stories, and all of this you will be able to use from directly from here. Also, we have the different other settings. Okay, we will see one by one all of those, right? While we create our visualizations and all things, right? Yeah. We are going to learn all of these, options, and also the same options. Many options you have here, right? All these options are also, some of the options also you are having below in the tools, right? In the toolbox here, you are having all of these options also. Many of these options you are having even here, right? Yeah. So that's what we have as the UI. Now, how you are going to use the UI. Here you are mostly you have to understand how your data works. Very first thing is we are going to use the we are going to use the data provided, simple data provided by the Tableau. Okay, that we are going to use a data set, right, which is superstore data. Let's get the data that is in Excel form, and we have this data, and we'll see all of the different analysis stories. So superstore data, we have this data, global superstore, and this is provided by the, and this is having a real world kind of data. And this is having a real world kind of data. So we have got a data. This is the very first thing. We have got a data, and you are getting this data right using this data source. The very first time you are getting a data, you don't have an option to these connections to get additional data from here, right? The very first time you are getting some data, you are going to use this new data source connection. So you don't have any data source connection. In that case, you are going to use this very new data source connection. This is the very first time, right? And you are going to use this data source to connection to get your data. Now you will be able to connect to your data, which is live connection and extracted connection. So we have to understand these things. What are these live connection? What are these extract connection? What is this data source means here? What are these, what we have here? What information and what information in this area? Right? So now, once we have our data connected to the data sources, right, we have to bring this data into the work area. Okay, we just have a data source. We are just having a data source, and we are seeing that these are the tables within this data source. We have these tables within this data source. Very first thing is we need to get this data into the work area. Otherwise, you can see nothing is shown here, right? No information is shown here. So the very first thing is we are going to use getting this data to this data source. So this will give you the table information. Here, once you are connected to the data source, it will give you the table information here. Now you have the table information, order table, and once we got this order table into the model area, into the this area, right, work area, so we are getting all the information related to the order table. And you are also getting a connection, a live connection here. We are also able to see the data, whatever we have, right, in this tabular form here, with data table, raw data, we are able to see it here, right? All of the data are available here. Okay. So you can you before you go to your visualization, you can check your data, and you can do little bit of small modifications in your data, like name changes or data type changes or splitting of your data, right? You can do some small modifications, right, in your data here in case of Tableau. Right? And to do any big changes, you have to either do it in your files, you do it in your databases, or you do it through the ETL or Alteryx or whatever you tool you have, right? You can, or you can even use the Tableau prep builder to get your data corrected. Right? Yeah. So that's what we are going to, here we are going to see the small, modifications in the data, how we are going to do the basic cleaning activities using Tableau, right? And yeah, we'll see all of these activities here. Right? We have got the data now. We have just one table, right? We don't need to create a relationship because we have just one table and these information. Based on these information, we want to see analysis on our data. Right? So what kind of data we have? This is the data, superstore data, which is the retail data. This is having the supermarkets or superstores, different cities, different countries, right? And the store orders, store sales, store purchases, or different informations. Okay, we store profit, right? Different profit on the products, the product information. That all these informations are available in the tables. We want to analyze on our stores, right? Whether we are whatever we have in the stock is enough for next 5 days. We can have our customers, all our customers served, right? So we can analyze that whether whatever orders we are getting, whether we are shipping that within time, and the customers are receiving within time or not, right? So we can analyze that part. We can see what are the critical, informations. What we can see all of those, right? What are the critical shipments we have? So many things we will be analyzed based on our data. So very first thing is you need to check your data. You need to explore your data to understand your data. What kind of analysis you can do with your data, right? What kind of question? So the important part is the getting a right question to use your visualizations. That is the very first thing you are going to by seeing your data. You have to get the right questions, and that questions mostly will be asked by your customer, mostly will be asked by your customers, or if you are also by seeing your data, by seeing the exploring the data, if you are able to find out something, some pattern, you can suggest to your customer that okay, you have this also, you are doing this thing manually and you are having this problem, you are trying to solve this problem. So you can solve this problem using this kind of methodologies or using this kind of visualization, this kind of analysis, you will be able to solve your problems, right? So you have all of this, leverage to work on. Right? Fine. Now we have just got the data and we want to do the simple cleaning activities. So very first thing is once we have got this data, it is identifying the data types from the source. Okay, whatever source data we have, so in that source, whatever data types are there, Tableau is trying to, it is trying best, right, to get the data types, and it has set the data types for all of the columns automatically based on the source, right? Here you can see in this is the tabular form of this orders data, and here you have this table name from where this data is coming, right? And this is the column names from that table. Okay, and top here you can see this hash symbol, ABC, right? These are the data types of this data. Right? So the very first thing, this data is the numeric data. We have the number, whole number data, right? Row ID. We have this row ID and this is whole number. Right? But many people, they may use this row ID as they can use it as a number type, or even they can use it as a string type, because row ID is just some identifier, and row ID should not be used in aggregation. It can be only used in for calculating, getting the count and all, but it cannot be used in summation. It cannot be used in other things, right? If you do numeric form, if sometimes by mistake we are using it in visualizations and we don't pay attention to this, that it will get aggregated to different level. Right? So, but what is the benefit of keeping this column row identifier column as number type? Can you tell me what is the benefit of this?
So we can easily rectify the types of data. Let's say we can see it's a date, so calendar is over there. If it's a country, globe is there. So
No,
it's easy.
if we have this number type, right? What is the benefit? It's not checking the type. So we are able to check all the type, different types. So here we are able to see all the different data types. Right? What are the data types? We are already seeing. So keeping it a number type will, because we are saving all of this
The
data
unique
into
one, huh?
memory. Huh? Yeah. So
The full ID is the unique.
we are keeping all of this data into memory, in memory, right? So now it is live connection. So it is directly connecting to the data source, which is Excel file. When we create the extract, if we create the extract, we are getting this data, right, saved into our in memory. Fine. So in that case, the in memory, whatever memory we'll have, right, based on that, we can say we can get our data. So if we have huge amount of data and our model is becoming like GBs, right? In that case, we may have sometime the performance issues, right? We may have the performance issues in those cases, right? Though extract will get you data, into the in memory using the compressed data, right? Using some kind of compressed technology, right? Compression technology. It compress your data well. Whatever data we have, raw data we have, suppose we have 1 TB of data. Now, once it is extracted and it is in the Tableau data form, that TBD form or Tableau data form, it gets extracted very well, it gets compressed very well, and it will be the 1 TB data may fit into 1 GB data, right? So the extraction method here, whatever we have, these compression methods, technologies we are using here in the Tableau, right? Tableau use is very good, technology they are using, and the compression is very good here. Fine. Now, let's see what we have in this case, right? We are going to Okay, we have this extract and we can get the data into our in memory. And yeah, that's fine. What we are going to do is we are going to do some kind of, we will be seeing this extract and all of this later. First, we are going to do some basic cleaning activities on this data. Right? So one thing is we can change our data type if it is not properly set, right? If it is not properly set, we can change our data type, or if we are, if we just have this, if we can just, if it is already set, we don't have to, set anything, right? So yeah, now it is set to number type. We want to keep it as a number type, and I have not yet answered why we are keeping this as number type, right? So we are keeping this as number type because if we are changing it to string, we can have it as a string also, right? If we can have it as a string, and you can see that this is now showing in the, starting from the left, fine. So now this is a string. What is the difference between number type and string? String takes 2 bytes to store a string, whereas the number type takes only 1 byte to store it. You got it? That means we will be saving lot of memory while we use the number type. So in this file, we may just have hundred of rows, but in the actual scenario, right, we have millions of transactions. So millions into 2 bytes, how much MB or GB data we will have, you can calculate, right? And how much MB or GB of memory we are saving, can calculate from all of your table. Whatever number of transactions you have millions of transactions. Now you are saving 1 byte each transactions, right? For only one cell, only this one cell. Then how much you can save it from different types, different IDs, right? You can also check that. So the number type, the use of this number type is to save your memory. Also, it will be faster in calculations. It will be performing faster, right? So yeah, that's what we have. This is the number type we are setting it. Then we are setting the order ID. You can based on the number. This one you can see this is the alphanumeric, and we have to set it the string type only. Fine. So this is a string type. You can also set this. This is a date type data. It is already set to date type. If you have something like okay, female, male, okay, flag. If you have something, some flag kind of thing, okay, yes, no flag, right? We can set that value to boolean. Only two value we have, and we want to have this yes, no flag. That is only we can set to boolean. Right now we have this ship date, and this is also in the date format. We have even date and time, right? If you want to also show the time, okay, when it is shipped and what time it is shipped, right? So you can also get the date and time formats. Now you can see along with the date, right? You are also having the time information there, right? So in this case, we just want to have the dates, right? If you have time critical activities or time critical information, right? You can just use the time also. But if you have something normal, which is you can aggregate to date level, right? You can go for the date level, right? Now, okay. So we are changing it to date level shipping information. This is not that critical. We don't have any time critical information here. Right? Okay. Now we have all of these things, and you can check. Okay, these are in column types with the categorical value, and we are keeping all of this as a string value. Now city information. So what is this city? This is some location. So this is some geography. So you have to set this to geographical role, right? So what is this city? This is not we are not setting it to a string. This is a string as well as this is the geography, some city, right? So you have to set to city. You have to set this to state, right? Geography. You have to set this to state, right? State and province, right? Then you have the country level information. So all of these are geography information. So you are setting the geographical role also. So what is this actually? The geography represents it. Right? So yeah, you can also represent this. This also you can represent in the geography, right? Or you can also, if you have some geographical roles, at country, region, right? This congressional districts. Okay, we don't have that. Even if you have some of your data which you have the location information of different airports, location information of railway lines, location information of bus stand, right? You can even map that data here. Okay, that all the location information you have, and with that location information, you can set the location geographical roles for that location. So you can see airport, you can see area codes you are sitting, and you are having even, you can even set some different, create from postal code state, and we can create something different. Right? Okay. Now, these are all the data types we have, location data type and all these things. So yeah, and number type we have already seen. This is number type. We are having values. Okay. Now we are just having that. We can also based on our data, right? Based on all these row IDs and all, we can even do the sorting of our data here. Right? We are going to see this data. This sorting is from the data source itself. We are sorting this data from the data coming from the data source. So we are able to sort it here. Right? So all of this data, order IDs and all these things, we have just sorted. Row ID, all this, we have just sorted the information. Right? So you will be able to sort it, and you can also able to rename these columns just by double clicking it. You can rename this column. Fine. Whatever columns you have here, you will be able to rename it. Right. Apart from that, what you can do also, you will be able to, create, right? Here you have the three part. Maybe you have the, location detail, then you have the year information, then you have the transaction ID maybe, right? You have all of these information in this case. You want to get these these information extracted into different columns, right? So that you can do some analysis, right? So, like how you are going to get this different data splitted together, splitted in different columns, you can just select the column, you can do this, you can go to this drop down and just split this data to different columns. Fine. You are seeing that this order ID now is split into three different columns, right? Here, and you can get the different parts of the data. Similarly, if you have something like, okay, if you have something like, okay, first name, middle name, last name, you want to get all of these names, separated out, you can get even that, right? Using the split function. So yeah, we are not going to do that here, right? We are just going to use it, whatever we have here. You can even do the split based on custom delimiters, based on using custom delimiters, maybe space, maybe, okay, second class and this class, we want to split this, maybe this information, right? Two columns. So what we just do, we can just go to this and split this based on the space. So we are saying that the split is the delimiter. So use the separator, separator the space, and we are just doing this for all the different, yeah, this one, and we want to create this, right? So you can see that ship mode will be now, we will be having two different, yeah, the column created out of the ship mode. Fine. Yes. So, the basic activities we are able to, with some of the basic activities we are able to perform here in this.
Sir, can you please do this the last tab once again, where we
Yeah,
perform
sure.
the split portion?
Sure. So what you have here, just in the drop down, you just click, you will be finding out all the available options you are going to do here. So you want to split this data using custom split, right? You can just do this custom split and create this here. You have the split option. Earlier, what we just used, we used the default option of the split that will automatically identify what is the delimiter, and based on that delimiter it will just do the splitting, right? Here we have to mention the delimiter, what is the separator actually for this data. So you can see that first word and second word is separated by space, so we are just giving the space. We are just
Okay.
telling that, okay, this is the space which is separating the out this, and we want to split all the options, all these different words, right? So we can split it using this all options, split of all these, or split first,
Okay.
split last, right? uh, in Power BI we have much more options than this for all of these activities, right? But here we have just these few options to do the splits, right?
It's sort of
We
text
have,
to display which we perform in Excel as well, but it's very limited. But yeah,
correct,
we can
correct, correct,
separate it.
correct. So we will be also able to perform the split and all these things in Excel also. So that's what we are saying, that if you want to do some kind of cleaning activities, right? You will not be able to do all the advanced cleaning activities in this Power BI desktop, Tableau desktop. But you have to do in the source side, maybe in the Excel you have to do the cleaning, maybe in the database you have to do the cleaning, or maybe you can use the Tableau Prep Builder to get this done, right? So all of you can do the cleaning activities in the source side. Okay. Yeah. So now we have just done, and we have just created this display. So that's what we have just done. And this is very simple options we have here to do these activities. Right? And same activities are also available in the Excel and all this. Fine. Now we have, and also the advanced level, what we have in this case, advanced level, we want to do some kind of calculations. Fine. So those calculations we will be able to create also from here. Suppose we have this shipping cost, right? We want to create some calculation, calculated field. So based on the shipping cost value, some conditional value, right? We want to create our calculation here. So this we will see also in the visualization. The same calculation we will be able to create from the visualization. Right? We will do that there also. Right? So here we have just very limited options to do the cleaning activity. Fine. Now, once we have and setting up the data type is very very important, right? You can also see the color, right? This is blue color and this is green color. So what does this and across Tableau visualizations, you will get to see these things. That blue color is for the distinct values, categorical values, and green color is for the continuous value. Okay, continuous values you have. You will see this. The green color this measures. Fine. Okay, fine. And this will be working as dimensions. Right? So let's now understand what is this live connection and this extract connection does, right? So live connection will directly get your data from the data source. It is now connected to the data source. You don't have any performance, improvement. Whatever, whatever is the performance of your database or your sources, the same performance you will have in Tableau, right? With the visualization. So it may take some time to refresh your data, some time to open your even your visuals, right? Because it is connecting to the database, underlying database, and getting their data, getting the calculations done, and getting the data from the directly from the live connections, directly from the sources. But in the extract connection, what we have, see, if we just click on the extract connection, it downloads your data into the memory, in memory. That means we don't need to connect to any network to get the data into our visualization. We are using the memory capability of our system, and there is no network overhead, there is no network failure in this case. Everything is available in our machine, in memory of our machine, RAM memory, right? So accessing RAM is so faster, right? Accessing RAM values are so faster. So here, what we are going to access the RAM. That's why our information, our visualization will be faster. We'll have better performance, far better performance than in the case of live connection. Only thing is, with the live connection, you will your whatever is your data source, size, whatever is your data source capability, it can query all of that data in your visualization. But in the extract connection, what is that it is depending on your in-memory capability. Whatever we have the in-memory capability, based on that we can keep our data into in-memory, right? So we'll be using our RAM and all these capabilities. Based on that capability, we can save our data. And as I said, that extract will have all of your data in compressed form, and that data will be compressed in like, okay, 70 to 80 to 90% even data will be compressed. Right? If you have 1 GB of data, that will become 200 MB of data, right? So it will be compressed, highly compressed data, right? In Tableau, in memory. Fine. Now, once we
So
have
I
our
have a
data,
question.
yes.
So if it is like say we are working on connection live, if we
Mm,
delete any row in within Tableau or change the field name,
mm.
so will it be the changes will be reflected to the master data as well from where we are
No, no,
like
no.
in the connections global
It is
superstore?
it is visualization is never going to all the visualizations or anything we are having here is not going to affect your underlying data. Okay, it's never going to
Okay.
it's never going to do any changes in your underlying data sources. Only thing
Oh,
is, we will be creating additional information in our memory. In our Tableau repository, we'll have all of these calculations created in Tableau. In memory, it will create a temporary tables in Tableau where we'll have all this data saved, right? Only we will do some kind of modifications. We can create new informations from our existing data, and it is not going to delete or it is not going to do anything on our existing or on the sources we are connecting to, right? Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
you mean to say if we are connected to the live connection, then we will not be able to perform anything on the web desktop,
Ye-
right?
Yeah, whatever, yeah, we will be doing some kind of performance activities we have to, do in the tuning part, we have to do in the database side, right? We have to tune our database. So whatever performance of our database will be there, you will get the similar performance if you are having the live connection, okay? And if you are having the extract connection, the data will be, now the performance will be higher, much more higher than whatever we have the live connection, because here
We
the
have to
data is.
click it manually, or it would be automatically clicked live on extract as per
No, you
the
have to click
database.
it manually. You have to get it done.
Okay.
So once very first
Because
time what you
this time you have extracted the data, but when we came to the Tableau desktop, it was clicked
ha
on live connection. So how to?
ha because the very first time you will connect, it will be live connection. Okay, then you have to change it to extract. If you want to get the extract, right? Automatically it will connect to the live connection. Okay.
Okay.
While you are connecting to some data source, it will automatically connect to live connection, and you have to change it to extract if you want to get it done. If you want to get the extract. Okay, if you want to save the data into in memory. So now you have some rules to extract also, because we are not going to dump all of our data from the database. We are not going to dump everything, right? We have our business where we want to check our data, right? We want to do this visualization for last 5 years data on. Maybe we want to do our analysis on last 5 year, last 3 years data. So in that case, we are not going to dump all of the data for whatever we have in the database, okay, like 10 years data. We don't want to dump all of this data. So, or we are doing business, or we are creating this visualization for particular region only. We are working for North America, so we want to do the visualization only for North America, right? We are not going to we are not working for, or we are not creating a solution for other regions. Then we can only get the data for North America, and we can filter the data out, all of the data out. We can just have the data for North America, and on that data we want to do the visualization. So in that case, you have to apply a filter condition. Okay. So you have this add filters which will be added to your live connection and all this connection. So you don't want to get all the data into your memory, right? Don't want to get all of your data to visualize it, to create a visualization, to create the analysis, right? Worksheet. So you can also filter your data, right? Now, suppose we want to get the data for last 3 years. We don't want to get all the 5 years data. We don't want to get all the 7 years data. We want to get the data only for last few years, right? So, or last few months. So we can also set our, filters conditions, like, okay, we want to just analyze our 2013, 2012, 2013, 2014, data. We want to just do the analysis on this data. We don't want to do analysis on any other data, right? We can also apply this advanced, condition based on the formula, right? We are doing some, we are applying some conditions here in the formula, right? Or we are doing some top 10 years, or top 5 years, or top three fields, right? Something like that. We are just going to get some data. We are going to get the data on the field, right? On the category field or any other field. So you can do this filter on all of this data. Fine. You can get all of this data, and filtered, and only that particular filtered information will get into your into your Tableau desktop for visualization. Okay. So now we are, and this is same as the where condition in SQL. We are applying the where condition to on some dates, right? And that is what we are doing here. Right? That we are just applying some where condition on the dates, and we are doing it. In this top condition, what we have here, that we can in the top condition, we are just applying some kind of conditional formatting where we are doing the condition on grouping. We are first getting the aggregate, we are checking the data, what are the top information we have, and then based on that we are doing the filter condition. We are applying these filters, right? Yeah, that's what we have here on this. In this case of getting the applying the filters on your source. So this is a source filters. Fine. It will apply to the data whatever you are getting from the sources. So this filter you will be able to apply add the filters from here. Okay. Do you have any question on this? Because these are some important things we are going to do. See here we have applied some count calculation that we want to only get the data zero condition data, that but we don't want to apply this condition because zero condition means it will not get us any data. Let's see if the count is zero, right? We are applying this and applying the source, we are not getting any data. Fine. We have to go and edit this data source, and we can just go to this. We can edit this condition formatting, right? By field, we are aggregating this field. We are just applying this zero. We are applying none of the condition. No condition we are applying. Or we can also apply the formula on some aggregation method. So we have applied also the general this one, and on top of that we are also applying some conditional information. Fine. So on top that's how you will get all of the data extracted into your. We are just setting that non, and we will get all of the data for these 3 years. Right. Let's keep okay. Then you are getting all of the data for 3 years only for doing the visualization, right? And apart from that, you have the extract, right? For the extract, you can also set up the condition. Now, the same settings are also applied here on the extract, right? But if you want to extract it for something else, right? You can do the incremental refresh on some dates, right? You can apply these dates and you can do the incremental refresh. You can apply this total refresh on the orders, right? And this one. So how it will do the refresh? Do you have any information how it does the incremental refresh? Have you ever worked on this?
No, like yes, but don't know how it works. Yes.
Yeah, how it works, right? It first checks your this column, right? We are having the incremental refresh on this row ID. Okay. So what it does, it checks first in the table all of these columns are existing or not. Whatever columns are not existing, whatever row ID is not existing, it will get only that data and load that data into the extract. Okay. It checks the data, and suppose you want to do this on date, so it will check all the dates, whatever dates information we have on this, and based on that it will get the data. Or here we want to do the incremental refresh based on row ID or based on some key column, right? We have this uh, different we will be having the keys, right? Different keys in the like sequence number or something like that in the data warehouse, right? Based on that, we will be able to identify what are the new additions in our table, and we will be setting up the incremental refresh based on that. So this is how you are going to do the incremental refresh, right? You can apply the refresh and it will be refreshed incrementally. Or you don't want to apply this incremental refresh, right? Yeah, you can do also the full refresh. It will just now it will do the full refresh also. Right? You can also refresh based on this order, like top orders or these things like top 10, or that this will be applied. So every time you are going to refresh only top 15 among the data. Okay, top 15 months or the top 10 months, last 10 months, like 5 months, or like last 2 months data you want to refresh. You can get this from here. Right? Yeah. So these are all how you will be able to apply the refresh options, how will you be able to apply the options to get your data from the source information. And all of these are from the source. Now, what we want to do is we want to do our visualization. Fine. The very first thing we want to learn our visualization. So what we are just going to do, we have already got our data sources. Okay, the extract. These are the extract, Tableau data extract. And you can see this is the Tableau data extract, and it will be saved in the Tableau repository. Okay, Tableau data extract is getting saved, and it is asking us to save the data. Fine. You have the Tableau data dot hyper, and it is the Tableau TDE form. Dot TDE. Oh, let's see. We are just saving this data. So this extract is loaded. Fine. Now we want to do our visualization. So all of the data which are added, right, now is visible in terms of this table. And here you can see we have the dimension information, okay, and we have the measure information. So in data warehouse, we have the concept for the different data items. Either we have the measures or we have the dimensions of the data. So dimensions will be the the categorical values which will define your measures. So what are dimensions? Dimensions are the categorical values, right? Which it will help you understand, explore your major information. So what is the profit? Right? You have the profit amount. So you need to understand profit on different, variables. Suppose you want to get the profit from the ship mode. Okay, different ship mode we have. Okay, which ship mode from which ship mode we are getting more of the profit, right? People are ordering something, and we are sending the ship mode, so we can just get the information. Okay, maybe from different segment, which of the segment we are getting, we have more orders of quantity. Okay, in which segment we are getting more profit from which segment, or from which category of data, which category of product we are getting more information, right? We want to analyze that. So this dimension will describe your data, and these measures will give you the numerical values. Okay, this will give you the numerical values or business information, business facts, right, on these dimensions. Fine. Yeah. And we have these dimensions and these measures from our data source. Now we have some italic names here, major names. Then we have this longitude generated, longitude, latitude generated, orders count, these measures, values. So these are all auto-generated field from Tableau. Fine. So Tableau, based on the data available here, it generates some additional fields. So what kind of data we have? Why we have this latitude and longitude created here? Because we have some geographical data. This is geography data, right? And because of this data, postal code or city or state, right? Because of this data, it is creating the detailed level latitude and longitude information, which is already available in the servers, right? This data is available in the servers, so somehow it is connected to the servers, right? And that data map servers, right? Data is already mapped to the servers. So for the advanced countries, this data is already available in the servers, map servers. And that's how it is Power BI Tableau is able to generate this information, latitude and longitude, from the names, directly from the names. Also, it is getting the count of the table, whatever we have. So number of rows count, it is automatically creating from the table we are using here. We are using only one table here, orders table. This is the order table, and it is just creating the count of this order. Then we have the major names and major values. We will see what are those later. Now, what we want to do is we want to analyze our sales information for different category of data. Okay. So what does that mean? We want to know, okay, which category of product we have more sales, which category of product we have less sales. So we want to represent that into a visual form, right? So you can represent this data. Let's say we have the category information. So you are going to, suppose we are going to just use the label here. So we are seeing this label, and then we want to use this, sales information. So we will not be able to see anything, you know, we will not be able to see anything, concrete. So this thing we are going to set in on the rows. So what this row will do, it will use this value. So in the category, whatever categorical value is there, data is there inside this column, category column. All those category column will be shown in the row. Okay, all that category in data will be shown in the row. Let's say we are saying that in the row. Fine. We are setting that in the row, and we have this data. Now we have also set the, okay, we just need to change this marks to text. So you can see all of the data in the textual format. We are able to see it here. But we are not able to visualize this data, right? We want to visualize this data in some form, in some visual form, right? So we have only three category. We want to visualize this data. So what we can do, we can first, okay, check this data. We want to set it in the color. Okay, we are saying that, okay, that we have the category information. We want to set in the color. Now we have this sales information. We are going to set it in the size, right? So this color and this color information we are just having here because we have set the marks as text, right? That's why it is showing us ABC ABC. But what we want to do, we want to set it as different marks. Let's say we are having a marks called square, right? So now you can see we are showing this category in the color, red color. This is technology category. Then office supplies is this, this mirror is this category, right? Yellow category, and then blue category. You have furniture, right? So you have checked this as text, this category in the color. So that's why it is represented as a color, and you have this sum of cells on the side. So this square size will give you the sales information. What is the total sales, right? If you have bigger square, you have bigger cells. See, this is 391 and this is 311. That's why it is here and this is here. And this is also a tree map visual. By chance, it is a tree map visual we are having. But we don't want to visualize in this form. What we want to do, we want to may change this to circular data. Fine. We have changed this to circle. Fine. So now we are seeing that these are three different categories. So this is called bubble chart, right? You can decrease the size of the bubbles just by clicking on the size, right? You can click on the size and decrease the size of the bubble, right? Okay. Let's see. We are just having this. Okay, fine. Yeah, based on the size, it is just having this, this size, and yeah, here you have the options to do this, to add the size and all of these things, right? Okay, let's say this is the size options, and we are just based on the data availability, whatever data we have, it is showing this size. Okay, now we want to also understand what is this data. We just know this the color for the different category. We want to know what is this color representing to. So you can give a label to this color. You have to put that you have to set a label on this category. You are setting a label on this. Yeah. So now you know that this is furniture, this is office supplies, this is technology. So on top of that, you want to also see how much is the sales, total sales. So what you have to do is the sales information you have to put also on the label. So you are also able to see the text. So these orders are important in showing your sales, right? And showing the values. These orders are important there, right? You have to understand, right? So this is a bubble chart. We are just, if you have some categorical data, if you want to show the, comparison also in among the three, among less number of categories, you want to show something, right, in bubble form. So you can use the bubble chart, and here is the example of bubble chart. Here we have the three categorical, three product categories, and those categories information, total information you are able to see it here. So this color, what it does, it gives a color to your data, right? And this table label, it gives a label to your data. Fine. And now you have also some other information here. You can see that there is a drop down here. You have some more options using the drop down. You can use this dimension, the categorical value as a dimension. You can use this as a attribute, or you can use this as something, as measures. So measures, you have count, this one. Right? Now it is measures. If you are, and you have to understand one thing, that the measures, right? The major values you can see here, this is changing to green. If we are changing this to measure, right, it is changing to green, and it is also changing to continuous. Now, let's say we are changing it to discrete. It is now will check you, it will show you in the, this categorical form, right? Blue form. Now you have this count, and you can see this count of category, this category data, which is what? Furniture category. You have only this many transactions, 8,114 transactions in this case. Fine. You will be able to change the even the you can change it to measure, you can change it to discrete measure. You can do this. Fine. Now, these measures also, you will be able to change it to discrete, right? If you are changing it to discrete, you can see that you have just changed this measures to discrete. Cells, okay? Sum of cells, the size, this is the size, and you have just changed this sum of cells to discrete value. So this is the total sum of cells, and we are changing all of these totals to discrete, and you have this much of transactions, and that's why we are seeing it like this. Right? This is the maximum value. This is this one, and category. And how this is showing you here, the same discrete values, right? You will be able to also put it on the rows or columns. You can see if you are just setting this to column, right? Category into column, you will see that based on the count, it will separate out. Right? Based on the count of the data, it will separate out the data. Okay, so now you have this here. You can see that these are separations, and you have this count information because you have this text, and everything is there. So we are not going to use this way. We are going to use this in the text. Fine. Now, Okay, this is the bubble chart, and what we are doing is here we are just going to use the category in the color. Right? Now different color is there. We are also going to change this. We don't want to have it in the as the discrete because this is the continuous data, right? So you have to also understand the different data types, whether the type of the data is continuous or the type of the data is distinct, right? Split data. So you have to understand that thing. You have to understand what is dimensions and what is measures. You have any questions, like please ask me so that it always you get to understand everything whatever we are talking here. Right? You have any question?
No, sir, no question so far.
No, right?
I
Fine.
think once we start preparing dashboards, then like
Sorry.
slowly. Once we start preparing dashboard samples, maybe then we will have the question.
Correct, correct. So, okay. So, we still need to create calculations. We need to create different visuals. Then we will go for the dashboard creations. So now we have this bubble chart created, right? And we can also, see this bubble chart in different details. We can set, okay, that we have the category information. We want to see the subcategory of data. Maybe subcategory here, we want to put it in the detail, right? So you will know that the category is colored in this form, right? And then this detailed data, the subcategory is now in the detail, so it is broken down all the category into detail. So entire of this, all of this detail will form the one category, that is here the office supplies. This all the blue colors will create make a furniture calculation. This will make the red, all of the subcategories will get through the technology data, right? All of this together. So we have this. Then again, these are all the bubble charts. Then we are going to maybe, or we have applied the colors on these. How we can apply the colors? Whatever you want to, whatever data you want to apply the colors on, right? You can just uh, place that on top of this color, and you will be able to apply the colors on this. Right? So suppose on the subcategory we want to apply the color. So you can see we are having different colors on the subcategory data. Okay. So all of this you will be able to also see what are the subcategories, what are the this one, and all of this you are able to see here. But we want to understand that what are the categorical data and what are the subcategories inside that category. So you can segregate that data. You can make the distinction among different category of data using this. Now, the next thing is how we have this data in the visualization. Fine. We want to format the text. We want to format the data label. We want to format all of these things. How we are going to format it. Fine. So the text or label you are having here, this is directly coming from the text, right? So you will be able to format it from using just click on this label, right? Or drag dimension or measures here, or click to for more options. Just double click, right? You are seeing all the different options for formatting. So you can format if you don't want to show the marks, you just remove the marks. You want to show the marks, you can show the marks. You can also do the text formatting, what data shows here, right? We are showing right now the category data, and we have the this sum of cells. You can also get any other data. Let's say we are getting sum of, right? We are just editing this, and we are getting sum of uh, profit or sum of quantity. Let's say we are having sum of quantity, right? we are having sum of quantity, and this is the information. We are just adding it here. Now applying it here, and you can see that we will be also having, okay, we just need to apply this marks, fine, and we are going to see the sum of quantity. We are applying it here, preview there, right? Okay, sum of quantity is not shown in this case. We are just having the sum of quantity and this is not formatted. Okay, then in this case, we are just going to edit the label, right? We are not going to edit any data. We are going to edit the label. That is, this label will be change. We'll be able to change the size of this. We'll make it this one. We can change the color, right? So these are the different activities we'll be able to perform on this data. Right? So let's say we are able to perform these different activities. So we have just changed the labels. Fine. Okay, fine. We have just changed the labels of the office or something like that, right? Or you have this office category and all of these different categories also. Yeah. So we can have all of this text available and for this, right? All these categories. Fine. Uh, Here we can see that we can show it for minimum maximum value. These labels can be shown for minimum maximum values. Right? Allow labels to overlap other max. So we want to overlap this other. So why we were not able to see the labels? Because the marks was getting overlapped. Right? So this is the marks, 1 marks, 2 marks, 3 marks. These are all called marks. Right? So if it is overlapping, it will not show the data. What we are doing here is we are showing the all the minimum and maximum marks, and we are overlapping the data. We want to show all the marks, so we are overlapping all the data, right? If we want to just have the selected marks, we can also have the selected data. See here, we are selecting, it is just showing for that selection data. It is just showing for that selection information, that values, right? So yeah, we have these informations and we can get the values over here. Fine. So this is how we are going to format the label, text label, and we have just formatted it. Fine. Now we will be also let's make it a smaller size because a smaller size is better. We will be able to occupy all of this information. Also, we have just set this for only for the selected one. We want to set it for all. Okay? So now we will set it for all. Uh, and apart from that, it is also, giving us some other information. So let's see. We have this subcategory information. Okay, we are just removing the subcategory from detail level data, and we have this data. So this is excluded, it seems, right? We just need to keep all of this data. This is furniture category, and what we have is we want to, yeah, we want to fit it the entire page. Let's say we are just fitting the entire page. So you can also set the page view, right? Standard page view. You are having this fit width page view. We are having this fit height page view, right? And the total entire page view. Fine. Now we have this category information and this is done and we have set all of this data and the category also text we are just showing it in there. Right. We are just removing all of these. Right. We have all of this data. We are just okay. Fine. This category we want to set it on text. Right. And this cells we want to set it on the text. We are just seeing all of this information now. So formatting. Now what else? How we can also format? We can right click and you can see the formatting option on the data. So you have here rows and columns, right? In this case, we just have the headers. Okay, one data. So one header we have just the header. We don't have panes. We don't have worksheet setting because we have only one worksheet. So this is the only worksheet we have to do the settings, right? So we are going to do the settings on this worksheet, and what is this is entirely this is a pane. We'll check also what are panes, what are cells, what are else, what are the different things. So we'll see all of that thing also here. So yeah, fine. Let's we are going to see all of these things in the next sessions also. So whatever we are seeing that formatting options, so column formatting, row formatting, and here we don't have the separate options. We have this sheet formatting. So we just want to format this entire sheets. Maybe we want to format the header, right? We want to provide the change this value to some this color, this header, but we are not seeing the headers, right? Headers are what? Headers are the either whatever we are, putting it on the column, putting it on the rows, those will be shown in the header. Fine. Okay. So these settings formatting will see the other charts. This formatting we'll see in the other chart. So you can format all of this. You can format this. Right? And yeah, we have just seen this. This is the caption area, right? You can turn it off also. You can hide this caption area. Right? And you can also get this caption area. How you can get this? Right click here, right? Below here. You can right click and you can get this caption area, enable. You can have your questions. You can define whatever you have done here, right? All of the captioning you can keep doing here. So this is the bubble chart. Then we have the column chart. This is very simple again. Have you ever used the column chart?
Not bubble, but a pie chart in Excel.
Yeah. Yeah,
No.
I understand that you have not used bubble
Yes.
chart. Fine. Have you ever used the column chart?
Yes. Yes. In Excel only.
So what? Why you are going? Why you will be using the column chart? What is the reason?
That was the like demand of the like uh, result we are expecting, because the result comes with from the two regions only. So it was very easy to identify. Otherwise, it's a multiple like way out. Then we are looking for bars or the graphs. For the columns only, for that
So
there was
yeah, so here what we have understood that so that's what like the visualizations, whatever visualizations we are doing, we have to understand why we are using the different visualizations, different charts, right? What is the purpose of that chart? How we can represent our data? This is the very important part to understand, right? How we are going to visualize our data, what we have to use, what chart we have to use in which situation, right? We have to understand that part. So column chart, bar chart, or these charts are being used to compare the data for different category. And sometimes we are also representing the data to show the percentage, to show the values, right? We are also representing it to for the just for the purpose of representation. But almost all of the time, we will be doing some comparative analysis among the different category of data, and that's where we will be using the column charts and bar charts, right? So let's see, we want to, analyze our what is the highest sales information we have, what is the lowest sales country wise we want to analyze. Fine. So we can represent in the bars and the longest, highest bar, we can say this is the highest cell. The lowest bar, we can say this is the lowest cell. We can also compare which country has more sales, which country has less sales comparatively, right? We can compare all of this information. So similarly, we can compare the information on the category. We can compare the information on different durations like different quarters, we can compare the information. So this thing, we will be using these charts, column charts, bar charts for comparative analysis. So here we want to find out the country-wise data, highest country. So if we want to use the bar chart, so you have to use the column, right? Column will give you the data on the columns. So these are the data category for country. Different country names are the data, right? Here we have the data. And if we are putting this on the country columns, right, it will create a column information. It will distribute the data into a column. Right? All these columns. It will create all of these columns from different country. Now we want to also create rows, and that we want to use that for a column chart. So what rows we want to use? The cells into rows, and it will create all of the data we have, because this is a continuous data, so this will have a range of data, and we are creating the range here. So 0 to 200 range, 200 to 400 range, 400 to 600 range. So this is creating, and this is a continuous data, right? If you are making it not continuous, but if you are making it discrete, so you will understand that all the values will be, shown. All the values will be shown as a row, right? As a row. So you can see all the different values are taken as discrete value, and it is showing as a row, right? So you have to understand what is discrete, what is continuous. Continuous is, you have to also understand what are the different values we can show as a continuous. So all the numeric values, that means the amount values, we will be showing this as a continuous. But will you be able to show the age values as a continuous?
I think
Is
we
it
have to
possible?
select label. We have to select
Yeah.
label.
No, if we have, suppose if we have age, right?
Age
Suppose
has
in,
to be exact. Well,
yeah.
age has to be exact.
uh, no, I'm saying not day. Okay, age. I am saying age. Okay, if we have age information, suppose one person is 19 years old, another person is 20 years old, right? So, can we have the age as a continuous value?
Yes, it can be because it's we have to like 5, 10, 15 in a like a in a certain gap
Correct,
in the
correct.
series of 5 or 10 or 20 like that.
Correct. So age can be represented until you have some limitation till 100, right? You can use it as a continuous value, right? Till 100 years or 140 years, you have maximum age limit, right? But you cannot use the age as a fully aggregated value, fully aggregated measure, right? This is partly aggregate. You will be only able to get the average information all the from the age, or you can get the count information. You cannot do the sum. You cannot do the total of the age, right? Now, you have to also understand different data usage, right? Different data usage, you have to understand what are the aggregation properties of the data it has, right? You have to understand all of those things. Now, we are creating a column chart here, and you can see that our data is represented as a column chart, right? Where in the x-axis we have in the x-axis we have the country name, and this x-axis is also called a column, right? And the y-axis is also called rows. Here, the y-axis are also rows. So whatever you are showing in the rows is the y-axis, and whatever you are showing in the column is the x-axis. So you can do, different, whatever formatting, different options you want to do, apply, you have to do like that, x-axis and y-axis, right? So now you want to, this data we are not able to represent properly. We have to also, what we have to do is we have to also, do the sorting on the country, or this is already sorted on country, right? We want to do the sorting on the values, right? Maximum to minimum values. So different countries will be able to see. So we have the option to sort these measures, right, on the countries. You will see the option is available in the countries, and sort this on the value, using the value, right? Using this is data source sorting. So we are sorting it based on the field. So what is the field? we have the field as the cells, right? And aggregation is sum. So we are sorting it after the aggregation, and we are sorting it in the descending order from maximum to minimum value. So that's how you will be able to also sort the values, right? Yeah. Okay, we have just sorted this and created the column chart. In the next session, right, we will be seeing the different options to format this data, right, and how we can also filter this data, how we can apply. Also, we'll see what is measures, name, values. We'll see other, charts and also the advanced, activities on joints, then we'll see the blending and all these things, and also creating the different calculations. So later sessions, that means next Saturday, we'll have this. Fine. Yeah, so that's all we have for this session. You have any question?
This is
No, not so
redefined
far.
or you have edited link which is
No,
coming
I
on the
have
bottom.
edited it. I have
Okay.
edited this. I have created all of these sheets, and I want to, whatever we are going to learn here,
Okay.
I will be having everything here,
Got it.
and
Got
so
it.
that everything is, yeah, there in this. Fine. Yeah, thank you. Then we will be, meeting on next Saturday, and thank you for joining today's session. Yeah, thank you for joining this class. Okay. Yeah. Uh,
Thank you.
Fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.